Hellavation, aka Fastest Sith, bringing you another Holocrons of a Sith video. Welcome to my Holocron, and in this Holocron video, I wanted to talk about dieting versus relationships with food, or relationships with food versus dieting. A lot of people. This is why This is why I feel like there's a void in the health and fitness community, because there are a lot, because people have this misconception or this perception or preconceived notion, whatever word you want to use, that fat people have nothing to bring to the table when it comes to health and wellness. There's nothing you can learn from a fat person. I wouldn't take training advice from a fat person. All this bullshit. But I break that mold. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I am a fat person. I know what it's like to be fat. I know what it's like to deal with obesity, food addiction, and food disorders. So, I feel like I can talk about it, So, in this video, one thing I really don't see a lot of people address, you would see like somebody like Jason Blaha maybe address it, or BioS3 Raw TV, or maybe Megan from Low Budget Lean Muscle, somebody like that address it. But you don't see a lot of people talking about the dichotomy between dieting and your relationships with food. Dieting is temporary, you know what I'm saying? You can say 3 years is long term or whatever, or 2 years, or however long it takes you to get to your goal. But that's really short term in the grand schemes of, overall for your life. And, there's a lot of diets that are great tools: carb backloading, carb cycling, low carb diets, high fat, high protein, anabolic diet, juicing, if it fits your macros, bro science. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, what I'm saying, when it comes to, getting in shape. But, having a positive relationship with food, meaning that what hunger is, you know how to deal with hunger, the appropriate amount of foods that you can eat without counting macros, what I'm saying, your relationship with food is not based on emotion, it's based off sustenance. That's when you have a great relationship with food, and that's what I think every obese person's overall goal should be, is having a great relationship with food. Dieting is great, but when you diet down, how is your relationship with food? Can you go back to eating normal foods and not have them disrupt the progress that you made? Because a lot of people, go on the Biggest Loser, Extreme Home Makeover, Weight Loss, all these different shows that, allow you to lose this massive amount of weight in a short amount of time. They don't build that relationship with food. They don't understand that, hey, you can have ice cream as long as you know how it fits into your caloric intake and how it affects you metabolically. You can have pizza, you can have cake, you can have these different things and not have to excommunicate them completely out of your diet. Because one thing that's different with food addiction versus just addiction to opiates or alcohol or cocaine or different things like that, is that it's not food's not necessarily one of those things that can have you spiral into an uncontrollable cycle. Now, it can if you don't have a great relationship with food, or you haven't worked on improving your relationship with food. And there's just some people that will never be able to have a normal relationship with those foods that, they were programmed to eat. So that's why people say, quote unquote, eating healthy, because, they feel like the foods that, that made them obese are unhealthy foods, when in fact they're not unhealthy. They just aren't accounted for properly in your nutrient makeup. Now, I will say that genetically modified food, or man-made food isn't the best, but in small quantities and small doses, it's perfectly fine if you have a good relationship with food. But a lot of people don't teach you how to have a good relationship with food, and that's why I think dieting for the long term is a better approach. But at the same time, you need to diet because you have to, sometimes you have to go cold turkey so that you can have better appreciation for, you know, that food and those things that made you obese later on down the line. Like now, like I said, this is not a cookie cutter kind of, you know, topic. You know, everybody is different. Some people can never have, you know, certain things again. But if you learn about nutrition, if you learn about your body, if you learn about health and wellness, and if you learn about, you know, macronutrients and micronutrients, then I think that, you know, over time, building a better relationship with food, you could do an if it fits your macros kind of approach, or light dieting, as BioS 3 you know, Jerry Ward likes to call it. You can have that. Or, you know, if bro just fits you, or if low carb just fits you, or, you know, whatever your diet, you know, if you think you can sustain that for a long term, or aka the rest of your life, then that's fine. But some diets don't, you know, allow you to eat for the rest of your life. Like, to me, a low carb diet I would never be able to do for the rest of my life, just because of the simple fact of, you know, it's very cumbersome to try to find some ingredient, like to try to simulate the foods that you love, you know, in that lifestyle. You know, same thing with, you know, it just, you know, quote unquote diets in general. So that's why I think the if it fits your macros approach, or light dieting, or, you know, just, you know, having a healthy relationship with food is more valuable. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Put your thoughts down in the comment section about what you think of dieting versus having a healthy relationship with food, and what your experience is with it. And, you know, do you think, you know, you should have a diet for the long term, or, you know, do you think that, you know, you should build better relationships with food? But anyway, as always, down into the description is all of my social media links, and be sure to add me on Instagram, and go check out my Facebook fan page and give me a like. But anyway, this is Hellavation, aka Fasted Sith. Be good, or be good at it, bitches. I will see you in the next video.